That would be proximal to distal if we wanted to work distal to proximal. Co-extension, dorsiflexion, relax the ankle, relax the toe. Co-extension, dorsiflexion, relax the ankle, relax the toe. And while we were resting, let's continue with our nerve gliding exercise demonstration. And now I'm going to be showing you guys how you can release tension on the medial plantar nerve. A few days ago, I showed you guys how to administer the test for the medial plantar nerve to test for tension in the medial plantar nerve. If that test was positive, or if you have any corresponding symptoms, we could turn that test into a treatment modality and perform it as a nerve gliding exercise. We are going to be in a prone position, so we're going to be laying down on our stomach. And for this one, we want the hip and knee in a neutral position. So our ankles are going to be resting off of the table. And then the first thing that we want to do, there are a few different ways that I'm going to go ahead and take you through this exercise. The first way is we can work a little bit more proximally before we go distal. So to work proximally, what we're going to do is initiate with dorsiflexion. We're going to point those toes toward our head. 3 to 5 repetitions, and then you want to check in with yourself and ask yourself, have my symptoms gotten better, worse, or stayed the same? If your symptoms have gotten worse or stayed the same, what we're going to do is stop immediately. There's no need to continue. We don't want to exacerbate your symptoms. However, if your symptoms have gotten better, we're going to perform an additional 20 repetitions of ankle dorsiflexion. Let's say you do the ankle dorsiflexion and you haven't really noticed a reproduction of your symptoms. What we could do to build tension is add a component of great toe extension. So our toes, we're going to point it up to our head. We're going to maintain an isometric contraction of the dorsiflexor. So while maintaining that the ankle and dorsiflexion, we're going to point the toes toward the head for 3 to 5 repetitions and then check in with ourselves. Have my symptoms gotten better, worse, or stayed the same? If your symptoms have gotten better, then we would continue. If they've gotten worse or stayed the same, we would immediately stop. There's no need to continue with the exercise. We don't want to exacerbate your symptoms. However, if they have gotten better, maintain that dorsiflexion, and we are going to go into great toe extension. So we're pointing that toe up toward the head. That's if we wanted to work proximal to distal. We could also work distal to proximal. If we wanted to work distal to proximal, what we would do is we would go in reverse. So we would extend the toe and then we would do dorsiflexion. And then if we wanted to work proximal to distal, we could do dorsiflexion and great toe extension. And we would do them in unison. So instead of making it a static contraction of dorsiflexion, if we wanted to work proximal to distal, we would go ahead and do dorsiflexion, toe extension, relax the toe, relax the foot. Ankle flexion, dorsiflexion, or dorsiflexion, toe extension, relax the toe, relax the foot. That would be proximal to distal if we wanted to work distal to proximal. Co-extension, dorsiflexion, relax the ankle, relax the toe. Co-extension, dorsiflexion, relax the ankle, relax the toe. Either way, whichever one you do, you want to do 3 to 5 repetitions. Check in with yourself to see if your symptoms have gotten better, worse, or stayed the same. If they've gotten worse or stayed the same, you would stop immediately because you don't want to exacerbate your symptoms. If your symptoms have gotten better, you would perform an additional 20 repetitions. But that is how we could work on releasing tension in the medial plantar nerve. And then during the next rest period, I'm going to be showing you guys how exactly we can release tension in the lateral plantar nerve. But for right now, our rest period is up. It is time for set number 5. That was just a tiny taste of what can be found in my members only section. If you enjoyed it, become a member for only $5 a month to get access to hundreds of member only videos.